Did you notice what Frieza's been secretly doing? He's been doing it a lot lately in the show. If you remember this scene, then you'll know what I'm referring to. Did you think that would actually get rid of me? This is the nasty remark we want Frieza to surprise Toppo with. But when you look at that scene again, you see just how naive he is. To think this tiny energy was comparable to Toppo's. However, we can honestly say there is a very familiar connection present here. One that links up to much more than just his two occurrences with the power of a god. Frieza had just made a deceitful comeback against Goku and felt sure of victory. But Vegeta interrupted his celebration. With every punch, Frieza's draining stamina came closer to its end, and when his gold skin disappeared, he gave up to a man who had once served him. That is until he revealed a secret backup plan that not a single person had predicted or could stop. Such a classic stunt. It's what Frieza does. He plays his cards right, tricking everyone into thinking one thing just before flipping the tables, revealing the real plan he's had all along. More often than not, those cards include playing the bitter loser, creating a false sense of victory in his opponent. And as we expect, he pops up like a dandelion, 100% completely fine. That's what made this fight so different, but is it really? There's a list of similarities between these two battles that we could go down and check off, but there's one detail we would be missing. Frieza sat there with his hands and his knees in the dirt, fading away in his physical and emotional pains of his loss. Everyone around was convinced. Frieza should be able to understand that he didn't stand a chance now, nor would he ever. But that's when the smirk unexpectedly appeared on his evil face. Before anyone could react, his hand was pushing a terrible energy to the Earth's core. This is the one detail that remained the same in almost every single moment of defeat Frieza has experienced during Dragon Ball Super. This gives us the answer we've all had from the moment Android 17 threw that rock at him. Why was Frieza saved from elimination? Consider the events of this week's coming episode. Vegeta will take on the now God of Destruction Toppo. Instantly, a bad taste is left in our mouths with the question that Goku asked during the preview. Vegeta, are you planning to throw your life away? There are different theories about what this question could really be asking, but one thing we all agree on is that it seems Vegeta very well could risk his life for the sake of his universe. If something horrible does happen to Vegeta this week, then Universe 7 does have a small chance to surprise everyone for one simple fact. The signs that Frieza could be hiding a secret plan up his sleeve are getting clear. For some, I know this sounds like reaching. Trust me, I did see the same thing as you. But there's a clear connection here that just might hold the key to Frieza's future in Universe 7's struggle to survive. The moment Frieza destroyed the Earth was the first of about 6 links in this connection so far in Dragon Ball Super, if I'm even remembering them all. Half of those are in the Tournament of Power arc alone. So let's look at those 3 links, because when you see the similarities between them and what's happening currently in Dragon Ball Super, you can easily find the potential Frieza's character still holds for the end of the Tournament of Power. For example, consider the incident Frieza was reminded of as Toppo created his first energy of destruction. This is our first link. All the universes were holding a pretty huge grudge on Goku at that time. He was the one who had suggested a tournament to the Zenos in the first place, but after seeing Universe 7's potential during the Zen exhibition match, Universe 9 decided to take matters into their own hands before the Tournament of Power could even start. It didn't take long for Frieza to prove he was still as evil as ever. However, he was hit with a big surprise. Be honest, as you watched Frieza inside that purple ball, writhing in pain, you were probably shaking your head, wondering if he would ever learn his lesson. Just because you're a prodigy and have actually started training for once in your life doesn't mean you're the strongest being out there. But suddenly, Frieza's tense body relaxed. That evil smirk we saw before came back. Especially after finding out that this was energy straight from the hands of an actual god of destruction. We were all amazed and highly impressed that Frieza had been faking it. It was just pure fun for Frieza. He loved to see his opponent feel the thrill of victory before watching their jaw drop in total disbelief. And regardless of sending many fighters to attack them, Frieza decided to team up with Universe 9. Beerus and Whis thankfully ended that conversation pretty quickly, but this introduced a theme that would keep his teammates guessing. during our second link in the connection. I think we all remember pretty clearly Frieza's fake alliance with his Universe 6 twinsy, but do you remember just how detailed his plan was that actually led up to Frost's elimination? Gohan had just been targeted by the Yard Rat from Universe 2. This opponent was proving to have a very advanced knowledge of instant transmission. In fact, Gohan was already about to get eliminated, but to everyone's surprise, Frieza was the one to jump in front of him, stopping the Yard Rat from attacking. The Universe 7 team members in the stands found their hopes starting to rise, but Frieza just stood there. Instead of helping Gohan, he decided to step to the side and watch the battle continue. He did eventually jump in and send the Yard Rat flying off the stage, but as soon as Frost showed up calling Frieza Senpai, his true plan was revealed. Turns out he just wanted Gohan to use up all of his energy. That way, his elimination would be easy peasy. Or was that really all there was to it? Frieza gained Frost's full trust during this fight with Gohan. Now that one of his teammates had gone down by his own hands, Frieza went to give his student a lesson he would never forget. When Gohan stood up, we weren't just happy, we were all beyond confused. What in the world was going on here? The actual real plan was to fake a fight with Gohan to gain Frost's trust, making it beyond easy to send him to the stands. Looking back, this has got to be my favorite example of Frieza's trickery. You could really consider this to be multiple examples all wrapped up into one package. He managed to deceive the Yard Rat, the entire Universe 7 team, Champa, and especially Frost, all in the span of probably about a minute. Good one, Frieza. But do you see the similarities between these fights and what we just saw last week? Our third link happened when Vegeta looked down at Goku's weakened body. The disappointment to find out not even Goku could explain what he had just attained was evident on Vegeta's face. But that didn't change the fact that Ribrienne wouldn't stop her annoyingly persistent attempts to eliminate Goku herself. Vegeta understood he would have to be the one to fight her off, but after feeling a rush of wind behind him, he turned to see Goku had disappeared. This was not something his body was capable of at that moment. So who had taken him? Goku was able to answer this question for himself as he confronted a ball of purple energy sitting at the tip of a revengeful Frieza's finger. Come to find out, he was actually giving away some of his energy to help. This was backwards from his usual stunts, but it's the perfect example to explain the similarities in all of these Tournament of Power moments. It didn't matter if he appeared to be on the losing side of the battle or not. Frieza's gimmicks always placed a false idea in someone's mind, only to do the complete opposite of that idea at a later time. As consistent as Frieza has been with his deceptions during just this arc, it shouldn't be surprising to expect him to do it all over again. So much so that it's very possible we're right in the middle of one of his lies right now. Think about it like this. Right after Goku had revealed his new Super Saiyan Blue form, Frieza refused to show his new power, as he had already promised to do. According to him, the reason for this was to test out Goku's new strength, to see if it was even worthy of something greater. Now, we've seen Frieza put up one hand to Toppo's energy of destruction. That was clearly much bigger than what he had dealt with before. Frieza is one cocky guy, but I wouldn't go so far to say he didn't recognize the huge difference. With that being said, it's very possible he was once again testing out his opponent's power, just to see if it was really worthy of something greater. But wasn't he already in his Golden Frieza form? This takes us to our bonus example, the moment Frieza also tricked Dispo. Oh, you thought I forgot about that, didn't you? He was already golden here as well, but it looks like this was just a lure that was rudely interrupted by the helpful Gohan, hinting to something even greater. But there's something else that happened during this battle that no one seems to focus on. Just after Frieza's proposal to work with Universe 11, something was said that's worth mentioning. Beerus was of course getting heated, but Krillin reminded him that they had seen Frieza act like this before. It could be that Frieza was once again holding in a secret plan. Well, we never got to see that plan go into action, meaning it's still there just waiting to be used. When he returned after escaping the massive energy of destruction, it was clear that Toppo's attack had taken so much out of him to escape that he couldn't even use his best form anymore. Wouldn't it be funny though, if this was just a way for Frieza to give Toppo that visual proof that his victory was set in stone? As we saw in his struggle to shrink Universe 9's energy of destruction, Frieza isn't afraid of pain. if he gets something out of it. And by allowing himself to be hurt in the way that he did, there's no way Toppo will be expecting a return appearance. But if Krillin had noticed Frieza's surprisingly helpful intentions against Dispo, it's very possible that Android 17 has also